And you know, a comical name is like catnip to schoolyard bullies. I know this firsthand. As you can imagine, when I was a kid, I used to get an incredibly hard time about being named Miller. Hey, Miller, gonna grind some corn into meal as part of a traditional agrarian economy, huh? Hey, Miller, gonna write an allegorical play about the blacklist and then marry Marilyn Monroe, huh? Growing up, I was picked on mercilessly in class, but that's the price one pays when your parents decide you're better off being homeschooled. Actually, my high school was full of shit kickers. You couldn't hear the word bully more if you were fucking Theodore Roosevelt. As a kid, I think I began developing my unique sense of humor specifically as a defense mechanism against bullies. Unfortunately, I had to come up with other methods for the 98% of my bullies who didn't know enough to be insulted by biting references to pointillism and Nazi filmmaker Leni Riefenstahl. I therefore mastered the ability to simultaneously induce self-vomiting. Now, things took quite a drastic turn after that. I actually started to try to attract bullies. I wore short pants and a jockey's cap to school, and I skipped all my classes and reminded teachers when they forgot to give us homework. And when unsuspecting new kids tried to start some shit with me, I'd tell them to wear his favorite shirt and meet me outside the cafeteria right after lunch. One of my least favorites was the popular jock bully. He's the one who gets his buddies to drag you to the toilet and use your head as a plunger. And the shitty thing is, they never get their comeuppance, do they? They go into the dollar arbitrage business or some other high-paying Wall Street subset, and they make a ton of money, so that by the time you see them at your class reunion, nothing you did with your life will make you feel superior to them. The only thing you can hope for is that his gorgeous supermodel wife gives indifferent head. You know, gals, why start it if you don't mean it? You know, as you get older, physical bullies tend to be replaced by emotional bullies. There's bosses who want you to work late, salesmen who pressure you to buy, friends who demand that you fill their bottomless pit of need, and the drill instructor voice in your head that commands you to go skiing when you don't know how to stop. After decades of only paying attention to boys, sociologists and psychologists are starting to come around to the disturbing fact that girls are just as capable of being bullies too. And even more appallingly, studies show that female bullies get, on an average, only 70% of the milk money that their male counterparts do. You know, there's nothing uglier or more barbaric than the sight of a grown man using brute force to intimidate or get what he wants. Grown woman, on the other hand, nothing hotter. We should all work towards a world without bullies, a world where right makes might, not the other way around, where reason and the golden rule take precedence over intimidation and coercion, a world where dogs walk on two legs and smoke pipes, where carrots as tall as you and me talk and wash each other, and music is legal tender. Well, I'm not saying anything new here. You know, Some say America is a bully, and while it's true this country periodically throws its weight around like a sumo wrestler in a bouncy house, other countries have nothing to fear if they don't fuck with our freedom, or our money, or our oil, or our domestic steel sales, or international shipments of corn, wheat, soybeans, and rice, coastal fishing waters, offshore banking, cheap DVD players, or conch shells painted to look kind of like Lou Costello. You know, true. It's very true, America may storm off our little four-square court onto other parts of the playground periodically, but very rarely, if ever, do we take our ball and go home. Most of the time, at the end of the recess, after giving your country a bloody nose and knocking the wind out of you, this bully props you up, dusts you off, pats you on the back, and then frequently we hand over our lunch money so you can rebuild that shithole moonscape you call a country. Now get out of here before I kick your ass. Of course, that's just my opinion.